started, hope that you all had a good spring break. Please, regarding concerts tonight, of course, Emil Richards will be performing tonight with Stefan Carlson, Lynn Seaton, and Ed Soph. That's at 8 o'clock in this room, and that's a free concert. Tonight also, coincidentally, at the same time, of course, is over in the concert hall is our part of our African Cultural Festival. Now, for you guys, the same concert is happening on Saturday night as well. So we're encouraging you to go hear both, of course, to come hear Emil tonight and then go to the African concert on Saturday night. The Saturday night concert, there is a fee. Okay, there is a charge, a student reduced rate, of course, but you need to go to the ticket office to get your ticket for that. On Tuesday night, we do have our a night of percussion, featuring the classical ensembles, and that's in here at 8 o'clock as well. And we are dress rehearsals. Those of you involved with that received the schedule on Sunday. We did have a full day on Sunday as well as Tuesday night. Okay. So without further ado, are there any other announcements from the faculty before we get going? Great. It's my pleasure, in fact, a distinct honor to be able to have Emil Richards here on campus. He's been an inspiration since I have been playing percussion. His resume is way too long for me to even start to tell you that I understand it. Playing from everyone from George Harrison all the way to every movie score that you've probably listened to in the last 15 years, 20 years or so, to being able to play with major jazz artists around the world. We're so pleased to have him here with his wife Celeste. If you please welcome Mr. Emil Richards.
4/4 improvisation and playing and rhythmical techniques. How many of you know the name Harry Partch? Good. Nice. Harry Partch, for those of you who don't know, it was an American composer who wrote for marimbas and stringed instruments. Mostly marimbas was why I fell in love with him. And the marimbas had 43 tones to the octave, as opposed to our 12-tone system. And the reason I bring up Harry's name, I was proud to be one of his disciples for the last 12 years of his life. One of the things he always said was that in 12-tone music, there's no such thing as improvisation. And I just fought him on that constantly until I realized that he was right. There's really nothing new that you can say under the sun in 12-tone music that hasn't been said before. So then what really happens when we say we're improvising? What we're really doing is playing licks or phrases or something that somebody else has played before us. We can interpret it in our own way, so to speak, but we're really not saying anything new. In 12-tone music, it's pretty hard to try to say something new. So what we're actually doing is playing phrases and licks that other people have played. I used to work with George Shearing in the George Shearing Quintet, way before Cal Jader and before Gary Burton and a couple other guys, Johnny Gray. And George used to say, someone would come up after a solo and say, boy, you stole that from Eric Satie. And they'd say, yeah, says, if you're going to steal, steal from the best. And what I'd like to show you is some examples of jazz improvisation licks or phrases that most of the jazz players have taken from the masters, from Stravinsky and Bartók and Ravel and Debussy, and from Charlie Parker and from John Coltrane, to name a few of the better ones. Another example of not finding something new in jazz improvisation is the amount of people that get sued every year for copying somebody else's music. George Harrison was a dear friend, and he got sued for My Sweet Lord. And his attorney was a musician and an organ player. He went into the court and he said, but Your Honor, it's almost impossible not to play music in 12-tone music that someone else hasn't played before in some form or other, whether it's the same melody with a different rhythmical content. And the judge said, well, I'm not a musician. Can you explain what you mean? And he played this. We know what that is? Rock of Ages is an old hymn. Then he played the very same notes in a different rhythmical pattern. And it was a good argument, but George lost the suit anyway. So that was one example of taking somebody's melody and changing the rhythmical value and still coming up with what you consider to be your own melody. First thing I'd like to show you is the double diminished scale. Does anyone know what the double diminished scale is? Or how about whole step, half step? The whole step, half step scale? Well, I call it the double diminished scale stems from the right hand going up. This is considered a double diminished scale. If you're not familiar with what it sounds like this. My left hand will play the C diminished. My right hand's playing the C sharp diminished. So put it together, yeah. So by learning that one scale, you're able to improvise on those 4 dominant 7th chords. Now, what exactly is in that scale is probably every impregnated thing that you can do to a dominant 7th chord. I'll play the dominant 7th chord, and if you can, from starting on C, what is C in the dominant 7th chord? It's the root. What's the next degree of the scale? The C sharp. Flat 9. What's the E flat? It's the sharp 9 or raised 9. E is the 3rd. F sharp. Flat 5. 5th. A is 13th or 6th. B flat is the dominant 7th. And C is the root again. Now, if I were to play the E flat 7th, the C is the 13th. That was also in the other one. The C sharp is the dominant 7th. E flat is the root. The E is flat 9. F sharp is the raised 9. G is 3rd. A, sharp 11 or augmented 11 or flat 5. B flat, the 5th, and the 6th again, or the 13th. So, each one of those chords has all of those same ingredients. The root, the flat 5, the flat 9, the raised 9, the 3rd, the augmented 11th or flat 5, the 6th or 13th, the dominant 7th, and the root. Each one of those dominant 7th chords has that in it. So, in improvising, you're playing, let's say we play a 2-5-1 or, yes, like you're playing every lovely substitute that you can play on a dominant 7 by using that scale. And there's only 3 of them that you'd have to learn. The next one would involve, so here you're playing C diminished 7th and C sharp diminished 7th equals these 4 dominant 7th chords. By playing C sharp diminished 7th, E diminished 7th, G, and what? B flat, and E diminished 7, A flat diminished 7, B diminished 7, and F diminished 7. You are now, these four equal these four dominant 7 chords. So the only other ones you have are D, A flat, D, and F. By doing that, you've got D diminished 7th and a half step above, which is E flat, G flat, A, and C, equals these four dominant 7 chords. And you've learned all, you've got those 3 scales give you all the possibilities that there are to improvise on that scale. Any questions? I want a lot of questions today, by the way. Now, that covers your dominant 7 chord. Yes?
You call that a whole half?
I'm sorry?
You first call it a whole half?
I called it first a whole half because from C to C sharp is a half step. From C sharp to E flat is a whole step. From E flat to E is a half step. From E to F sharp is a whole step. So going up is half step, whole step, half step, whole step, half step, whole step. Coming down is whole step, half step, whole step, half step, whole step, half step. Understand that? Yeah. All right. Okay, so that will cover every type of dominant 7th chord that for improvisation. There's nothing better than that. Now, on 5s, since we have 4 notes that we usually play with 4 mallets, see if this makes sense to you. We took the C diminished and the C sharp diminished 7. Now, if you were to take 2 notes of the C sharp diminished 7, and 2 notes of the C diminished 7, these 2 notes are in the C diminished 7, these 2 notes are in the C sharp diminished 7. I'll move these 2 up to E and G, and move these 2 up to C and E flat. You see what I'm doing? These are part of this C sharp diminished 7, right? I'll move these 2 up. This would be G and B flat. This would be E flat and what? G flat. Thank you, Lord. Next one would be B flat and what? Huh? C sharp? Did you say C sharp? And this one would be G flat and what? A. All right, so my right hand, my left hand is playing the C sharp like this. the 7. Is that good? Is that good stuff? I think so. Okay, now, for playing a major chord, can't beat anything for beauty and prettiness than what Ravel and Debussy did. They would take, let's say, an F chord, and they'd go up a whole step above F and play a G chord along with it. Your emphasis is on the F, but you are passing by using part of the G chord. So he was doing this. I think it's Patricia, he uses 2 clarinets. That's what he's doing. He's just rubbing the 2 triads hands together, only the F sharp is not played in group position. It's played starting in the third position, second inversion, starting on the C sharp. So you get that. Some piano players, especially a guy by the name of Roger Calloway, is playing totally comping like in C with this hand and playing in F sharp, the key of F sharp blues with the right hand, and just moving the changes in C with the left hand and just thinking the blues in the key of F sharp with the other hand, just playing a tritone away. You can think of it in terms of two separate keys, or if you just learn it as a scale. It's really an effective device in improvisation. Now Bartok's my man. And I'd say John Coltrane's a man too, because Train uses definitely a lot of Bartok in his improvisations. What Bartok does is take the whole tone scale and build on it in terms of fourths above it. What? What are you wrong? Huh? Say it, I didn't hear you. C sharp. C sharp, right? F sharp? Why do I show you guys this? You tell me. I should be thinking flats, that's my problem. A sharp, D sharp, right? Where's D sharp? That's not on the board. G sharp? Oh, you know it. I'm lost. They're right. I can play it better than I can write it. Or easier to write it. So the left hand is playing the whole tone. I'm sorry. there's a flute passage in Bluebeard's Castle, which was the only opera that Bartok ever wrote. I'm kind of hung up on fourths in any conceivable style. I've figured out ways of playing cycles of fourths, moving rhythmically in groups of 3 and 2, so like in 5, or 2 and 3, so I play groups of 5. This in your blowing, they don't have to have anything to do with the melody or the chords. I'm serious. You listen to some of the tenor players, especially your wonderful Texas tenor players that can play all over the instrument. They're doing that. They're just playing wonderful scale passages or licks that they've gotten from the, whether they know it or not, the masters, because they didn't invent them, ladies and gentlemen. They've been here before all of us. And that's what's happening. Making up your own stuff is the key, or listening to the masters, getting the scores, looking at it. If you hear something in a piece of classical music that you like, in an opera, there's things in operas that are incredible. Just pick up the score and start studying it, and you'll find that all the things that you like in it, when analyzed, are some kind of sequential beauty. They're just wonderful things that work. Now, being that I'm playing vibes, I figured this out. If I were to play, I was trying to figure out an exercise for students. I play the old buzzard grip. I like the Burton grip. I like Lee Stevens stuff. But I'm too old. I've been playing the instrument too long to change. So I'm with the old buzzard technique and trying to go smaller than a third. It means pulling your fingers out, and that takes too much time. So I try to come up with an exercise that students had to play seconds without taking their fingers out, just trying to get in the habit of keeping the mallet position this way and moving to the sides this way. And what I came up with was, if I can show it to you, a C major 7 has one space in between each note. So if there's one space in between each note, I move the top mallet down. So now this is closer. Now I move the second mallet down. These two are closer. I move this mallet down. These two are closer. Move the bottom mallet down. There's now a space in between each one. Again, starting with the top, the second, the third mallet, the fourth mallet. First mallet, second mallet, third mallet, fourth mallet. Going all the way from this C major 7 down to this one. And what happens is you get this lovely thing. Next, I'd like to just, I do have an excellent teacher here of Indian rhythms and techniques. I just found a simple way to try to impart that information Yes. Is that a question? Oh. You just fixed it, I found an easy way through numbers to impart this next information on rhythms as they relate to 4/4 playing. Now this technique is going to be good to help you with reading rhythms for composition. What I usually do before I write a composition is I come up with a rhythm. And I don't worry about the melody until after I've got a really interesting and swinging and good rhythm in my head. And then I'll worry about putting a melody to that later. Just for reading this, we were in 4/4, and you saw this. Just repeat that over and over. Would you clap that for me? Huh? What's that? This one. Thank you. All right. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rhythms that are usually pretty difficult. And what I'm going to show you today is that with this technique, there will never be anything that ever throws you rhythmically using this technique. You'll be able to figure it out, especially when you have, stuff with rhythms that are going over the bar line, chime and all that. This system really will help clear all that up. Simply, we'll start simply. In 4/4, one bar of 4/4 equals how many 8 notes? 8. How many 3s are in 8?
2.
So there's 2 3s and a 2 left over. To get every possibility of 3s and 2s, you just have to move the smallest one over, and those are the 3 possibilities. Now I would like you everybody to have at least one foot on the ground so we can beat our foot. We're going to beat a lot here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Next. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next. Not only is it the rhythm, but we can even get counterpoint going. Everyone from here play the top one. Everyone from here play the second one. Everyone from here play the third one. 1, 2, 3, go. That's the simplest form. Now we can break the 3s down into 2s and 1s. Or 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, or 1, 2, 1, 2, 2. 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, or 1, 2, 2, 1, 2. 2, 2, 1, 2, 1, or 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And in these cases, some of them may repeat. you'll find some repeats in here, but let's do them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Halfway down, you should play this one, you play this one. 1, 2, 3, go. Showing how in no time at all we can get combinations of rhythms playing. This is the simplest form. Next, we will add our number to 16. So 16, we can either play 2 bars of 4/4 or 1 bar double. 16 equals how many threes?
5.
And a 1, right? And incidentally, what African rhythms are great. There's no question that the Africans have given us a lot of stuff. But come on, man. The Indians have covered it all. They leave nothing out. There's nothing left out. They've got every combination you can possibly think of. They have tried it. So, we're going to move the 1 over each time. And I hope some of you who don't know any of this will take some notes, because there's going to be enough material here for your life. I don't mean for just a week or two. I mean your life. You can make a Bible of numbers. We're not going to cover them all at this session, but there's going to be enough material here that you can make volumes of numbers that you can sometime down the road get together with yourself and just say, man, this rhythm is a little left-handed, but I love it, and it's going to become a part of my vocabulary in my playing from now on. And another thing that you're going to find that happens with this is, if I'm on a session and someone says, well, I need you to play, I want some congas on this, but I want it a little different. Well, I go through these numbers in my mind and just see what numbers, I'm still at 4/4 time, but what numbers and what accents would help constitute some interest in a conga part for this particular piece. And this is an invaluable way of coming up with rhythmical content that's useful to you in your musical life. Okay? Push this is a little dark. All right, can you see it? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. if you're going to play the last one, you're going to play the first one. And when we say next measure, you go to the top of the page. 1, 2, you know what to do. Now this is only the first example, but what I want to tell you is we're only doing it as far as 2-1, 2-1, 2-1, 2-1, and then 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. There are so many inside possibilities by going 2-1, 1-2, 2-1, 1-2, or 1-2, 2-1, or 1-2, 2, 1-1. You know what I'm saying? Now, after doing one of these, I asked someone, if someone knows a computer program that can permute every one of these, breaking them down into 1s, 2s, and 3s, please see me afterward, because I really would love to have it. This guy came to me and said, my brother could do that in a second. And they sent me a disk so that I can program and get every conceivable possibility. There are so many possibilities. First of all, it just spit out all the ones, and it doesn't, my screen is not big enough, and the printer is not big enough, so that some of them I can't even print out. That's how many possibilities of all this there are, you know. But for yourself, you should think about making up a Bible of these numbers. I'm telling you, there's some in here that are incredible, and some of them I definitely use in my playing all the time. Let's try this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now check this out. Now we've only covered the first one. Incidentally, that last one, when I'm playing, I know I've got 5 threes and a 1. So I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 1, and 2, 3, 4, 5. You know what I'm doing? I'm just putting that 1 in different places. I know I got 5 threes to go in my head, so that 1 can go anywhere. And sometimes you're playing it, and it'll fit nicely someplace, but not so nicely in another place. So while you're blowing, you can start thinking in terms of numbers, and you, when it comes to numbers, as long as they equal a certain number, just believe, and they will come out. That's all you have to do is believe. Okay? Let's try it. You can go from here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we can move the trees in there too. You get them all? Yeah. Okay. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? And then you're going to write all of those things out, right? Now, got that? Okay. If you were to play a 5, a 7, a 9, and 11, that equals what? Now, if you're playing hand drums, this one's great. Check this out. I didn't need this, but all right. Thanks. I didn't turn it on. Because each one, and then this is going to be broken down 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3. Or make this a 2, 1, 2, 1, 1. Now, another thing, remember this? When you're faced with a rhythm, and the rhythm throws you for any reason, find its smallest denominator. In this case, it's a 16th note. How many 16th notes?
3.
How many 16th notes?
3.
How many?
3.
How many?
3.
Huh?
3.
I did something wrong. What do you mean, yeah? Huh? Where? W3 should be a name?
The 16th.
You don't have to step ahead. Who said that first part? Okay, so 3, 3, 1. Anytime a rhythm throws you for any reason, go to its smallest denominator and put the numbers above it. Lightly in pencil, and there you have it. There ain't ever going to be a rhythm that'll throw you with this system. And I think it's just an incredible system. Now, also, and I'm asking you, because I still haven't found it, all of this can be broken down into notation naturally. And I haven't found a program that'll break down the numbers into notation so that we can see them all in musical, rhythmical notation form. So if anyone knows anything that can transfer a number into a rhythm, please let me know, because I want to buy it. Or I'd like to buy it. And maybe I can send Mark a copy. I don't even know how to make copies. I have someone make a copy of the one that permutes all of the rhythmical numbers so that you can at least see them in terms of the numbers. But this one's very heavy because each one, your hands are changing. So you're going 5, 7, 9, 11. Try it. 1, 2, 3. Okay, keep doing it. 1, 2, 3. So you can put the 5, the 7, the 9, the 11, anyway. Bam, bam, boom, 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 bam, 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 bam. You know you did it. So you can switch those around as well. Another one that I've been doing lately, trying to throw the band. This is a very hip one for drummers that want to play a 4-bar phrase. In a, if someone gives you 4s to play, throw this on them, see if they can. After your 4-bar drum solo. Here's another one that's really hip, I think. How much is that equal? $64, which is 32 twice, right? Okay, this one's very hip, 4-4-2. 1. Let's play. Bam, 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 boom, 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 bam, 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 boom, 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 bam, 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 bam. 2, 3, 4. While you were doing that, I was playing only 2 7s and 2 9s and going back to 2 7s. You can switch them anywhere you want. Once you know the formulas and what you have to work with, you can go anywhere with it. For soloing and drumming, this is incredible stuff. I'm not even going to try to get into TIs. You teach TIs here? Well then, here's your man, Now, The same thing, if you're playing, did you ask me about odd times? Yeah. Did you?
I'd like to know.
Oh, you would? Certainly. Well, yeah, you guys.
Yes.
Okay.
I've got a hand up over there.
Uh-oh.
What's that number sequence? I missed it before. Do I still get a tag?
Now, how do we apply this to odd times? When we're playing in odd times. I remember Alan Dawson saying, I asked a student to play a 5/4 time around the drums, and he went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 5. And I said, why are you putting so much emphasis on 4 and 5? He says, so I won't get lost. So Alan said, when you're playing at 4/4, you don't go 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's break that habit. How do we break it? Let's say we're playing in 3/4. Let's start with first just 3/4. Doubling your number to 6 isn't going to give you too many possibilities. Let's double our number to 12. Still not too many possibilities. You got 4. If you're in 3/4, this is a nice feeling. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's kind of nice. 1, down, down, down. Down, 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 down. They do. Bam, 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 bam. They do. I'm playing 2 5s and a 2, which equals 12. Bam, 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 bam. They do. Bam, bam. They boom, bam, bam. I put the 2 in the middle. Bam, bam. They boom, bam, bam. Bam, bam. They boom, bam, bam. Bam, bam, bam. Bam, bam. Bam, bam, bam. Bam, bam. Put the 2 in the front. But if we double our number even again to 24, we got a few more possibilities. 5, 10, 15, 20, and 4. I love playing this one when I'm in 3/4. Bam, 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 bom, bom, bam, 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 bom, bom, bam, 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 bom, bom, bam, 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 bom, bom, bam, 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 bam. You're still in 3/4, but by moving that bom, bom, you're accenting in different places all the time. So here's now a way of breaking, even when you're blowing in odd time signatures, what to do with it. Around the drums, like a cross stick. Even a cross stick is so hip in 5/4. You're in 5/4. The number can be 10. You got 3s. I love playing this one. Bang, 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 oh, bang, bang. So 1, 2, 4, 5, 1, 2, 4, 5, bang, 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 dig what's happening? So now these are ways of you as a player. When someone says, well, look, we're going to play in 5/4. Double your number again to 20. Bang, 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 boom, bang, 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 boom, bang, bang, boom, bang, 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 bang. You know how many you got in there, so you just put that bomb anywhere. Same with the 5. Well, 5 wouldn't be as interesting as your 5. 7. question, because this is now the way of even using odd time rhythms to mess around with the time. Now, how did Indian music get so hit rhythmically? You can tell, if you're a classical musician from India, you can tell the time of day by what's being played. Because 2,000 years ago, in the Sanskrit tradition, the ragas were played at certain times of the day to coincide with the disposition of your nervous system, to help your nervous system. If you go to a concert in India, you go to an early evening concert, they're going to play an early evening raga, which will help you just to start to repose after a day of activity. The early evening ragas will just make you start to repose. If you stay at a concert and they play after midnight, those ragas will change to a late evening raga. If you stay here till early in the morning, they're going to play an early morning raga that's probably going to be full of energy to wake you up. So what's happening is they're saturating you with that raga, with that scale, with that melodic content to go through your body, because they figured out 2,000 years ago that that's what you need at that time of day. That alone is hip enough. That alone is saying enough for me. Yes.
There was a group that played here at noon a couple weeks ago. So what do you think they were playing?
I don't know. What time?
Well, it was at noon.
Huh?
At noon, 12 o'clock?
12 o'clock? I'm not sure. And I'm not sure if the musicians that are playing here are still carrying that tradition. Some of them may, some may not. I'm talking about classical Indian music. When you go to hear a classical Indian concert in India, first of all, most of the music is being played to the Lord, which to me is the best way to play your instrument, is to the Lord. But if they're doing that, then they're probably following the tradition of the Sanskrit in terms of the ragas and playing them for the disposition of your body.
To do like some kind of digestive
Yeah,
thing?
I'm not sure what ragas are for all the times of the day, but that's what they're doing. So because they're doing that and they've tuned their instrument to that, they're stretching rhythmically, so they're not bored. They're going through all kinds of stuff rhythmically so that they can constantly keep interest in their playing. So they're stretching out rhythmically. And if you're a tabla player and you have a master, you go to see your master after you've mastered everything that your master's given you. You go back to him for some more permutations, because I'm sure he's got more to give you. And I remember on the George Harrison tour, I slept next to Alaraka all the time. And Alaraka drank his scotch and he'd fall asleep a little bit. He'd get up in the middle of the night and he'd start going, "Daka, daka, daka, daka." I'm grabbing the barf bags out of the compartment and just writing numbers down. And I say, Allah, do that one again. I didn't get it all. And he's already off on another one, And so we're just writing down numbers whenever I could to get as much as I could out of it. Sorry.
Thank you.
I only have one more little goodie to show you here. I'd sure like some questions if you want to ask me anything about the studios or. But let's just do this. I need 6 guys who really feel they can play rhythms good. Come on up here. Come on, you're not going to be shy of me, are you? Incidentally, I usually start something by saying, I got 4, I need 2 more. One more. guys play this one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Stand over here. You can look at the board if you think you need to. All right. You're going to start it. You're going to start it. You're first. And just don't listen to anybody else but yourself. You're going to play the same rhythm he plays, and you're going to start it here. And you're still going to play the full rhythm, but you're going to start here. You're going to play the full rhythm, but you're going to start on this second block. And so on, right? Okay. Questions on anything? Anybody want to know how to get a job?
Yeah.
Practice. Let me tell you something about practice. Go ahead.
Could you talk about the importance of reading all these sessions that you do? How often do you come in and they give you something to read, and then, how much time goes by before you have to record that?
Did everyone hear his question? He asked, how much time goes by when you're reading something in the studio? Let me say this. In the studio, you're on a very tight time limit. And in most cases, the percussionist does not get time to practice or rehearse with the rest of the orchestra. Why? Because we have just finished a cue that had vibes, marimba, xylophone, and chimes, and timpani, and bass drum. And I had the bass drum nearby. Now the cue that just came up has xylophone and bells that have to be real close to each other because the xylophone player has to hurriedly in 2 beats jump to the bells. And he's not playing vibes, so he's got, while the orchestra's rehearsing, he's pulling the vibe out of the way and putting the other instruments under the microphones. And what I usually do is I put my music down on the instrument and I'm following what's going on in the orchestra while I'm moving stuff around. So that not only does your reading have to be good, but you've got to be able to hear what's on the paper. Did you hear what I just said? You have to be able to hear what's on the paper because invariably there might be a part with the xylophone where the clarinet is playing with the xylophone and he plays a run and I say, he just played a B flat there and I don't have a B flat, I got a B natural. So I'm correcting notes while I'm still moving instruments so that when the red light goes on, I'm not going to make a mistake. You ain't got time to make mistakes. So that's how well you have to be prepared reading-wise. How do you help that reading situation to be able to hear what you see on the paper? First of all, ear training is a very important necessity. Now, a lot of solfege classes teach you to sing from one interval up to the other. Music doesn't only go in one direction. Music goes in both directions. You must learn how to sing in both directions. So what I usually have the student do, whether he's a timpanist or not, if a timpanist, it's invaluable. But for anyone who wants to be a better reader, get your chops together as far as hearing what you see on the paper. what to do is sing me a minor second up from there. What song starts with those two intervals?
Jaws.
Okay. What other song starts with that? Sing it. What song? All right, you're stymied, and that's good that you're stymied. What I do is say, you can't use Jaws because somebody in the audience yelled out Jaws. Find me 3 more songs that start with a minor second going up from any interval from here. I want to hear 3 songs that start with that interval. And I don't give a heck that you learn that interval. I mean, that song, I give a heck that you learn that interval. So that you're driving around in your car, your assignment, until you find 3 songs that you absolutely know for yourself that go from a minor second up on any note that you hit, you're not to move on to the next interval. Until you've got those 3 totally down. It doesn't matter what the song is, it matters that you're singing the interval all day long in your head. Totally singing that interval all day long in your head to get it in your head. The next thing you do is a minor second going down. What song? Stella. You can't use it because I used it. Find me 3 more. And that's your next assignment. Find 3 songs that start with an interval going down a minor second. You do that all the way from one interval up to the octave above, and one interval down to the octave below. Some of them are difficult. Minor 6, augmented fifths, augmented fourths or diminished fifths are very difficult to find. If you're really, really stuck, and on that's a difficult one to find songs that start with those 2 intervals. I would allow you to have the first and third note of an interval. You know, as one possibility. Now finding a song that has the first note and the third, you know, finding it so that you can sing it in your head really fast. Another thing I used to do is keep a tuning fork next to my bed. The last thing I do before going to bed is hit the tuning fork. And the first thing in the morning, sing an A, and then hit it. See how close I am. Not to have perfect pitch, but to have some kind of relative pitch. So that if something's in a key, or you're listening to a piece of music and you're trying to analyze it, you have some inkling of what key they're in. That's very important, especially for drummers. How many drummers tune their drums when they play? What do you tune them to? Huh? What pitches? The pitches for the song you're playing? Which? I cannot hear you, sir.
Particular size of the drum.
Particular size of the drum. Well, try tuning it within, if you have time, tuning it within the context of the piece you're playing will enhance your playing and the music. That very question was asked of 18 or 20 drummers in 3 editions of Modern Drummer. And some of the weirdest, dumbest answers I ever heard from professional drummers. Anton Fig was probably one of the only guys who said, well, I try to tune around B flat because a lot of music is based around B flat, D, or F, and you're pretty safe with F and B flat. When you're playing a live show, you can't tune for every song. Shelly Manne used to tune his drums for every song he played. He didn't play drums, he played music. I mean, let's start thinking in terms of music rather than
Well, the musicians are going to take a break and so are the drummers. We don't want that kind of reputation, guys. Come on. We're part of the musician family. And those are, who asked me? You did. Those are important things to know about reading. Reading is knowing as much as possible, because believe me, in the studios, the percussionist does not get a chance. And when we say red light players, we're not kidding. We're red light players. And I tell you, every time I record with my small band, or even with a big band, what I try to do is, I work with Sinatra a lot. He used to do it. He'd say, after the first take, he'd say, "You guys get that in the booth?" He'd say, "Yeah, Frank, but you know what, the engineer wasn't quite together. We could make a better one." He said, "Did you get it?" "Yeah." "Next." Why? Because there's something that happens with an orchestra on the first take, on the first run-through, on a rehearsal, that you ain't going to get if you sit there for 10 more days. You're not going to get that feeling that you get the first time you run a piece down, because you got this camaraderie with an orchestra, and you're doing your best you can the first time. And engineers miss that first one most of the time. They're screwing around with dials and the booth and all that, and they don't get that one. That's the one they should get on tape. It doesn't matter that there might be a little flop in the trumpet, or something may have gone wrong, or you hit a clinker on the mallet instrument or something. The feeling is there. You're not going to get that feeling again if you stay there for 10 days. And most engineers miss that. So, yeah, reading is that important. The first takes are important. And another thing, if you were to go in and sub for somebody in a live show, and let me tell you, the drum chair is probably, and percussion, are the toughest chairs in a live show if you're in the pit. You don't want anybody to recognize or know that you're different in the pit. The joy of being in the pit is that nobody recognizes that there's a new guy there. That you play it so well that they never miss the guy that was there before you. Not that, wow, I'm so flashy, they're going to have to recognize me, or be aware that I'm different than who was here. That ain't it, guys. What's it is that you did the job so that nobody knows that you were there. That's being the right drummer for the job. And that's reading the right way of reading. I hate to get carried away and stuff like that. I love those questions. Come on, man.
You talk about
I already gave you one.
If you talk about special effects used for movies, how do you would go about finding the right sound for those effects?
Okay, there's two kinds of special effects. There are special effects that have nothing to do with the musical content, and that's called Foley. And Foley is, and it's good if you come to the studio to see how Foley works, because they catch every nuance. Believe me, there is no footsteps in a movie. There is no closing of doors. There's no clinking of glasses. That's all done after the fact. In fact, after they do all of that nuance of sound, they even do a take of rubbing their clothes, just to get a whole take of ambience, of sound, of movement, that you wouldn't even imagine that they would have to go through. But that's how much Foley has to go through. As far as what we're doing, and especially percussion, I'm very fortunate that I get called in on a movie before the movie has even been scored. What will happen in my case is a composer will call and he'll say, I've had guys call me and say, on the phone and say, "Hey, Emil, I'm in a tunnel, and I'm in a train, and I'm just coming out of the tunnel, and you hear this big whoosh. What do you got?" Wait a minute, I'm in the bathroom. You get some strange color, but the composer has to go and spot the movie. By that, he has to watch the movie 2 or 3 times and talk with the director and the producer on where they're going to put music and where they're going to have silence. And the director may say, you know, I had a moviola at home and I was playing the movie and my kids had the Grateful Dead upstairs. And boy, it seems to really work. Listen to this. I'll play this Grateful Dead song. See if you don't think it works. And someone like Henry Mancini or John Williams would say, well, why don't you hire your Grateful Dead? I'm John Williams. I do what I do. And the Grateful Dead do what they do. If you want them, I don't need to be there. But in cases where there's a sound or an effect, like a Super Bowl on the horn or something, where the composer will say, there's this really weird scene that's going to come up in the movie, and they want something a little strange because these people are talking to the dead. And I've scored the music, but I want something a little strange. Well, I'll say, well, how about... Yeah, that's a good sound. That'll kind of go with it. Now, let me just say this about percussion. Mostly in percussion, the sounds are strange like that and out front. And the composer says, yeah, put that over the top of what I've done. When it comes to clarinets, trumpets, saxophones, violins, string sections, brass sections, woodwind sections, composers have been writing for 200, 300 years and marrying those instruments and coming up with unusual colors. Why is it with percussion, they want to hear that one percussion sound out front? Because they haven't learned, and I'm telling you and encouraging you, if any of you are going to write for percussion, to keep in mind that we have an arsenal of instruments that rather than just play that instrument out front, marry it. Marry the woods with the metals, with the skins. There's a world of marriages that we haven't even tapped yet. Forget synthesizers. We have sounds that married together will create sounds that have not been tapped, that haven't been heard in the way of percussion. That's what we've got to do. Not that you play that one wood block by itself out front. And that there was a sound there. No. Put that wood block with a plunk of a water phone or a metal hitting a gong along with it. Obscure it. Make it another color. And watch what happens. We have an arsenal of colors in our vocabulary that has not been tapped. And that's what I would encourage students who are really interested in percussion writing to start thinking about marrying different instruments in our categories and come up with stuff that'll scare people. No, really. We've got so many possibilities at our fingertips that are not being used because, I found an unusual color and I'm going to just play that by itself. Maybe, once, but marry it with other percussion instruments, marry it with other instruments of the orchestra to hear how wonderful it can sound. Come on. What time is it? Are we all right or what?
We're getting close to the time, and your sponsors have sent some things to give away. And we've got the rehearsal with Ed and Stefan coming up pretty soon.
Okay.
Probably what we should do, guys, is that, Emil will be here, of course, tonight and the concert, and he's got a rehearsal right in just the next hour. There'll be some time this evening and later this afternoon if you'd like to speak with him. That'd be okay, Emil, this time. I think we should. I hate to stop you because you're on a roll here, but we want to thank you so much. Before we do these door prizes, though, Emil, help me, because we want to thank your sponsors, Yamaha, Elton, Heisty, Mike Balter. Who am I missing? Command Toko? Yeah, absolutely. They've been help. We've also got some local help that always helps us, and I want to recognize her as well. Our Texas PAS chapter president is here. Ms. Lauren Vogelwine.
be fun. I've had a wonderful role. I'm still in it. I don't know when I'll ever retire. I keep saying, people say, aren't you retired? When are you going to retire? You're 71, going on 72. When are you going to retire? So, I am retired. I only work when they call me. So I just hope that they keep calling me because I love playing. And I think playing keeps you young. And I love that young
Well, thanks so much. Kelly, you want to go in? Maybe got numbers. They've got, I think, Emil, did you want to have them give away some of those tapes?
Yeah, those cassettes can
Come on, do those cassettes first.
First number is 620142. Uh, 150. 122. 094. 099. Yeah. 130. 114. 091 and 133. Anybody? You're 130. Oh, okay. 141. Right.
Those posters are downstairs. Oh, right here. And you guys, if you want, there's a really nice poster of Yamaha with Emil, and those are free, just first come, first served. It's not, you don't need to give those away.
Okay.
Once you pull that thing out of the box, they see it.
We got a box. Stirred up good. 152. Oh, 151. Okay. And the next one, we'll leave that. It is a hi-hat stand.
It's in here.
In a box. The number is 087. One, three, four.
Oh, wow.
One, what? Is that you?
That would be me. Talk to Matt.
Okay, guys, let's give Emil Richards one more. If you could, we do have a rehearsal in here that's starting off almost right now, so help us get going, tell you here, and take these posters, take them home.